Hello, everybody, and welcome to the beginning of a new and beautiful series. So, I've got this series idea from a guy named Daniel Schiffman. Maybe you know him, maybe you don't. The thing is, that guy is amazing and he makes videos mainly on processing, P5JS, and some other teachings. But something that I haven't really seen on the internet, especially on his channel and other parts as well, is the capability of using processing. Wait, it seems to not have opened correctly. Anyway, is the ability of using processing with Python. Yeah, haven't really seen that one yet. Let me just open processing because it seems like it doesn't want to open. There we go. I had technical difficulties, but it works now. Anyway, I haven't really seen Python and processing go hand in hand on the internet. People don't really use it. Their go-to for Python seems to be, for processing, seems to be Java. Let's give it a shot. So how do we get Python in here? Well, go to manage modes. Just pull this sucker here. Click on the Python mode for processing 4 and then install. As you can see, not that many installs. Anyway, so let's try and make something simple, something cute. Let's try and make I thought paddle simulation. What's a paddle simulation? Well, by that I mean that we will have small circles appear where we click and they just grow and disappear at some point. So for that we're going to need to make a setup, which if any of you are familiar with the setup function with Daniel Schiffman, you know that setup is the initial state of the simulation. So in the setup, let's make a size 500 by 500. I think that would be quite nice. Let's try it and see. Yeah, seems like this is a good size for the start. Usually I like to go full screen, but let's go 500 for easy or visualization. And let's make a draw. So in this draw, let's set the background to black. And what we'll do, we need to have not one, not two, but a bigger number of droplets. And for that, we're going to need an array. So let's do a for drop in drops. And we can do just drop dot draw. I may be wondering, what's this? Well, Python has this beautiful capability called a for in loop. You basically have a structure of this sort of arrangements. You have for a variable, just variable in array. What does this do? It goes through the array itself, each and every single instance each and every item of the array, and use it as a variable with the name we decided here. In our case, it will go to the array drops, and each one will be used as a variable with the name drop. But we do not have an array named drop. Not a problem. We're going to define one. And it's as easy as that. Now, to use the array drops in here, we need to specify that it's a global variable. Okay. So let's make one, shall we? Drop class. Yeah. Good. I'm going to define a class named drop. And if you've done any OP, even better, object-oriented programming. If you haven't, not a problem, it's going to be extremely easy. What's a class is basically a mold. When you make cookies or cakes or whatever sort of sweets, you usually have a mold in which you put the cream, the the cake batter, etc. So here we also have, like, we make our own mold right now. So how do we do that? Well, we have the init function. What does init mean? It's the initial function. And what's up with, excuse me, my team seems to be running off. 1 second. There we go. Excuse me, my Teams was buzzing. Anyway, where was I? Alright, the init function. So the init means like this. This is the initial part, and this here is just some Python magic to help it under the hood so it doesn't break. And what do we do here? Well, we will have a certain obligatory required variable called self. It doesn't have to be self, it's just a standard nowadays. This is basically refers to the instance itself. For example, let's say that, I don't know, I make a cookie, and each cookie has to put on their own, their live cookies, their magical cookies, has to put on their own batter a certain kind of cream. They will be like self put cream. There we go. And we're going to need an X and a Y. So to say, okay, this is my property, we have to do self dot x equals x. We can do it like this. So my x value is the x value we pass on as a parameter. Self dot y equals y. Good, but maybe I don't want each and every value to be just a parameter. Maybe I want some inert values. For example, my inert value was that my hair was brown before I dyed it black. It's the default. That's like a parameter value. I can change it. A default unchangeable variable, like I can't really change my eye color permanently. It will always be brown unless some sort of mutation, or I don't think you can do surgery like that. Anyway, we can define our radius. Then we want to start from 0. Good. So we want them to grow, as we said, we want them to go big. And again, we need to put a self here. Okay, good. So we'll do want the radius to grow. So we'll do radius plus equals 1. And we want also to draw them. If I could spell correctly. There we go. So in processing, we need to set up a few things first before we draw anything. But we won't do that here, because here is just the logic. It's just how the droplet itself, the droplet itself works. We do not care about how it looks. Good. So we just do if self.radius is smaller than 255, and you will see soon why I choose 255. We do a circle with self.x, self.y, and self.radius. So what does circle do? Circle just takes 3 arguments, an x, an y, and a radius, and just drops a circle there with that certain radius. Good. But something is missing here. We call this function all the time here. Basically, we call this. So this happens. It checks for the radius, and just draws a circle. It never grows. Let's make our circles grow. There we go. Perfect. Good. So let's make a circle here at let's say 250 and 250. what happens? We get an error, drop is not defined. Well, that's because we need to import it. In the Java way with processing, you don't need to import them manually, they just appear. It's just magic. But here we just do from drop class import drop. So from the folder, from the file drop class, as here, we import the class drop. Here we are. And now if we press play, nothing. That's because we haven't set the parameters and the conditions and the properties of the drawings themselves. So we do a stroke, which means the color of the circle. We do a no fill because we don't want to have a completely filled circle, we just want the outer perimeter. And a stroke weight, spell again, weight of, let's say 1. Not too big, not too small. Now if we do this, nothing happens. What could be wrong? Let's see if our circle friend is actually generating. Circle generated. This is debugging. Let's see how it works. So yes, it is generated. Okay. Let's see if the circle is drawn. And it is drawn. Peculiar. Okay. And it's also drawn in here. There we go. It's not drawn in here. I wonder why. Maybe it's because the draw function have the same name. Let's try to change that. Oh no. There. Beautiful. So there's a typo. Okay, that's fine. But we want to make a new drop every time we do a click. So let's do def mouse clicked. We want to have the global drops. We want to add to that drops.append a new drop at mouse X and mouse Y. So what is this? This whole function here is from processing itself. It's the mouse clicked function that basically just registers when we do a mouse click on the window, not anywhere on our screens, but only on the window. And when we do a mouse click anywhere on the window, it takes the drops, the global drops. So it says, okay, we take this from here and we append to it a new drop at mouse X and mouse Y. Mouse X and mouse Y again are just processing beauties. They just take the relative position to the left upmost corner of the left top corner of the window. So when this happens, we have our little circle friend here from before, but we also have other circle friends. Gorgeous. Good, but they're just they're popping like that out of existence. It's not fun. Well, for that, we can come here and change this a bit. We do -7.radius. Now, this is why I set the value to 255. 255 is the maximum value for colors. And in this case, it's on the grayscale, so it also applies here. When we do from 255 to 255, it goes from pure white to black. So let's see it. Look at it. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Lovely. So yeah, this is the way you make a bit of droplets. Something extremely simple that just covers the basics of OOP in Python. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. If you did, press the subscribe button. If you want more, press the like button. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.